Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Just Coded with Sarthak. A lot of you guys have been asking what are the different job roles, different profiles that a college student can aim in their college days. या कौन सी ऐसी जॉब अवेलेबल हैं फॉर इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स, ये सब डिस्कस करेंगे आज की वीडियो में. आज की वीडियो काफ़ी मज़ेदार होने वाली है. हम वो सारे टेक्निकल रोल्स डिस्कस करेंगे जो एक कॉलेज स्टूडेंट अपने फर्स्ट ईयर से एस्पायर कर सकता है, एम करके चल सकता है. एंड we will be discussing about what are these different roles and what are the different technologies or different fields you should aim towards to get these jobs. Okay, before starting with the video, let's thank the supporter of this channel, Newton School. So guys, what is Newton School? Newton School एक edtech startup है जहाँ पे you can learn more about different technologies out there. They will help you get job offer from these top tech companies. एंड उनका एक बहुत ही अच्छा प्रोग्राम है जहाँ पे आपको एक रुपया भी पे नहीं करना है जब तक आपके इन कंपनीज में जॉब नहीं लग जाता. दे हैव वेरी गुड ऑफरिंग्स विद दिस कोर्स, लाइव क्लासेस, इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोजेक्ट्स, मॉक इंटरव्यूज एंड पर्सनल मेंटरिंग. I will put the link in the description and I suggest you all to check this out and explore their courses. So guys, with this video we wanted to focus on what are the different roles. SG पोजीशन तो सबको पता है दोस्तों, बट और कौन सी ऐसी पोजीशंस है और कौन से ऐसे टेक्निकल रोल हैं जो एक इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट के लिए अवेलेबल हैं, जो इफ़ यू लर्न कोडिंग, इफ़ यू आर वर्किंग इन प्रोग्रामिंग करियर, यू कैन एम फॉर दीज पोजीशन इन डिफरेंट कंपनीज. These are also very good and highly paying jobs, and these jobs also require a high sense of credibility and responsibilities. So starting with the first and the more foremost common job is SD position. ये जॉब एक आई वुड से यूनिवर्सल सुपर सेट है बहुत सारी पोजीशंस के लिए. So people have these designation as software development engineer, but in this profile you might expect something like specific front end roles, specific back end role, or full stack developers, or any other kind of development fields where you will be developing apps for different platforms. So I want to bifurcate specific role wise and not focus on more on SD, क्योंकि SD एक सुपर सेट की तरह होता है एंड वी वांट टू फोकस टुवर्ड्स द स्पेसिफिक रोल्स फॉर द स्टूडेंट. सो स्टार्टिंग विद द फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इज फ्रंट एंड रोल्स. ऑल दोज जॉब प्रोफाइल्स व्हिच आर स्पेसिफिकली डेडिकेटेड फॉर फ्रंट एंड प्रोफाइल्स आर फ्रंट एंड पोजीशंस, राइट. एंड इसमें बहुत सारे इफ यू हैव डन सम काइंड ऑफ फ्रंट एंड फ्रेमवर्क, इफ यू नो अबाउट सम काइंड ऑफ फ्रंट एंड टेक्नोलॉजीज, you can start working on these jobs. I would say these are fairly easy, and the technologies that you can aim towards is React, Vue, Angular, and you can become a good front-end developer. Next towards working with a back-end developer. So back-end developer positions are slightly complex. You should have knowledge about the how back-end frameworks work, what are the different algorithms and data structures. There is a slightly I would say higher chances of getting competitive based coding interview in these positions, and you are expected to know something like Node.js, or you can say something like the technologies that are more focused toward development of backend, such as Java and so on and so forth. Moving forward, so combining these two positions, if you know both front end and back end, you are expected to know something like a full stack developer. So a full stack developer is someone who knows both front end technologies and back end technologies and can work as a full stack developer. Moving forward, in this genre you can have a position like an Android developer. So we were discussing about web development position, now we are working towards the app development positions, or specifically mobile development positions. So Android developer, ये उन लोगों के लिए पोजीशंस है जो स्पेसिफिकली एंड्रॉइड एप्स डेवलप करते हैं फॉर अ कंपनी. सो कंपनीज दैट आर मोबाइल फोकस्ड और दैट हैव एन एंड्रॉइड ऐप कैन एम फॉर दीज पोजीशंस. यू आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू नो लैंग्वेजेस लाइक जावा और कोटलिन टू वर्क इन दिस to work for these positions. Next is Apple Parallel is iOS developer. So somebody who knows iOS development can look for these positions. These are positions specifically for you can say apps developed for specifically for iPad and iPhone and all those devices. And the language is expected to for these developers is Swift. So anyone who knows about Swift can code can aim for becoming an iOS developer. मूविंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर द डेवलपमेंट पोजीशन, यहाँ तक तो हमने बहुत सारे डेवलपमेंट पोजीशंस को डिस्कस करा. लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड विद अनदर सेट ऑफ पोजीशन विच इज द डेवऑप्स पोजीशन. तो यार डेवलपमेंट हो गया, लेकिन डेवलपमेंट का ऑपरेशंस पार्ट भी होता है. डेवलपमेंट के डिप्लॉयमेंट, एक स्टेजिंग सर्वर होता है, एक टेस्टिंग सर्वर होता है, हाउ टू मैनेज व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सर्वर मैकेनिज्म यू नीड, हाउ टू स्केल दी सर्वर. फॉर एग्जांपल आज मेरे सर्वर पे 10,000 क्वेरीज आ रही हैं. लेट्स से बहुत सारे यूजर्स ऑनबोर्ड करने पे दैट कुड रेज टू 1 लाख और 1 मिलियन क्वेरीज. So how to scale the server? What are the different server you might have to take? What are the different web services that you should look forward to? Something like AWS services, Azure services, or any other service like GCP or other deployment services. So these is all taken care by the DevOps person. And if you have a keen interest in how cloud works and how server mechanism works, you can opt for these kind of positions. Next is we have something like a network engineer. So I would say this is a very niche role. बहुत सारे लोग जो electronic side पे हैं, it could be helpful for them. Something who are working toward the companies that are working towards the rollout of 4G, 5G or Wi-Fi development or Bluetooth development. They are working in these areas where they are working towards these areas. Something like I would say SpaceX, where they are launching different satellites or something. Satellites have different radio frequencies that work on. So different positions available for this. Is something who is a network engineer. It could be at a small scale where you are developing some kind of Wi-Fi or a mobile antenna array for a phone. Or it could be something like a big, you are developing for at a scale for some kind of telecommunication services, and you are building a whole network out there. And it could be something like for company specific, where you are making a mesh of Wi-Fi networks to get a proper internet service in that company. So right, network engineer take care of all these things, and you can aim for this profile if you are keenly interested in how these network things work. Next role is something like a IT infrastructure manager role. So हर कंपनी का एक IT infrastructure होता है. हर कंपनी का एक मैकेनिज्म होता है कि इसका IT सर्विसेज कैसे वर्क करेंगे, इंटरनल सर्विसेज कैसे वर्क करेंगे. समथिंग एज सिंपल एज कंपनी का लॉग इन लॉग आउट टाइम और लीव मैकेनिज्म और समथिंग लाइक दैट. It is all taken care by IT infrastructure services, and they take care of all these services, that how to scale them up, how to enroll all these employees, and how to take care of their services in the same way. Next is a more role which is for younger students. So बहुत सारे लोगों को hacking में बहुत interest होता है. They are interested in how to crack some password or something like that. But the productive role or the positive role out of this thing is cybersecurity expert. So someone who is expert on to prevent someone from hacking your system or cracking your system in the right way. These are cybersecurity experts. वो अपने system का एक security layer develop करते हैं. They maintain a firewall. They look for all these breaches and the bot attacks on their platforms and prevent them from happening and doing a damage on the system. So these people can aim for something like a cyber security expert profile. Next is a machine learning profile. So machine learning or AI person is someone who is working on making automated systems with advanced capabilities. So machine learning का बहुत real life example देखते हैं. Something like a recommendation system, something like image recognition system or character or text recognition system. These people who are interested in developing these advanced systems which require a lot of data, and they process on these data systems, like I said, large databases to provide accurate results or prediction models, can look for these profiles as machine learning engineers, or I would say ML developers. Next is the data science profile. It is more or less similar to this profile, but it is more focused to the data part of it. It could this profile generally work in the segment something like users are working towards finding the right segment with the help of data. So you can have aggregated data, and you can look for these results based on your calculation out of it. Machine learning works more towards the prediction part of it, while the data science is the base of acts as a base for machine learning engineers, I would say. This is also a data intensive profile where you should be aware of different technologies. I think what I have seen, people who have good knowledge of Python and R are good data science developers, and they can work towards building some systems and finding what are the different I would say how the science work behind the data, and club and find exact results out of it. I would say a smaller or younger brother of this data science profile is something called a data analytics person. It's not data heavy profile. Rather, I should correct myself. It's not a technical heavy profile, but it's a data heavy profile. Data analytics person is someone who has access to different databases and finding out aggregated results for company to take decisions on something like how the transactions are working, what are the different customer numbers that we are getting, and this is based on the real life event data that the company is tracking, and users generally try to users who are creating these events needs to be tracked and aggregated, and this is generally done by a person who is on the other side, who is working as a data analytics person, who combines and aggregates this data for you. So data science is working again understanding the science and understanding the mechanism, while data analytics is something who is directly working with a single source of truth, which is the database that exists. The another position which is also similar to data is big data. So a big data developer is working with companies with large warehouses of data, who is generating massive amount of data such as Google, Facebook. I would say every company who has a large data center, or who has a capability to generate a large amount of data requires a big data developer, or someone who is a person who can handle this amount of data, how to basically store the data, how to process that data, which is in terms of millions and billions of entries for users on daily basis. Next, we are working towards something more, I would say, unique kind of profiles which are of keen interest by engineering student. So यार लोगों गेम तो आप सब खेलते हैं, पर how this works, how this get developed. So game developer profile होती हैं. यहाँ पे I would say you could have prior knowledge into something like simple things like gaming engines, Unity, and other gaming engines that exist today, and you can develop simple mobile games or web games out of it. As far as I can remember, there is a I think JS supported phaser.js where one can make web games out of it. So if you want to see one example, I have made a college project in my college days, and you can check that in the description box below. So you can play that game just for the example's sake. It's not very I would say pure, and you can play it in the real sense. It's very crude. It was just for practice and how I wanted to aspire as a game developer, so I tried doing that. So game development is another profile where you have to know a lot about the gaming engine, the physics behind gaming. So someone has kicked a ball, or somebody who has fired a gun, how the bullet goes. PUBG or COD सबने खेला हुआ है, but how the engine or physics works behind it is something of interest here, and something you can look forward to working. Another profile is SDET. So यार आपने बहुत कुछ डेवलप कर लिया, but उसकी एक टेस्टिंग रिक्वायर्ड होती है, उसका क्वालिटी चेक रिक्वायर्ड होता है. So for these kind of job profiles, this is something called a quality engineer, or I would say QA person, SDET profile, software development engineer in test. So these profiles generally test the mechanism for every kind of nuances. It could be something like a unit test, it could be something like a integration testing कि वो different services or different pods के साथ सही work कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है. It could be something like a performance testing कि बहुत सारे tens of thousands of users or millions of users एक साथ उस सर्विस पे आ जाते हैं, तो how will it perform under load or under pressure. So performance testing is done on. So every service before rolls out to customer goes for testing phase. Many companies invest heavily on this testing part because they do not want a bad user experience. वो हर चीज़ को टेस्ट करने के बाद ही यूजर के लिए रिलीज करते हैं. Some companies just rely on the developer, and some companies have a developer counterpart in form of SDT and a QA person. Next, we have something like automation or scripting profile. So somebody who is good with Python scripting, or I would say Bash file scripting, is a person who can aim for these profiles, and they could just write scripts out of it. They could just automate a lot of things in the company file. Something like parsing the data from internet, or I would say looking for different files, or automating by action. It could be a generic, or it could be a specific profile. Different technologies are out there, and you can aim for this profile as well. एंड लास्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट प्रोफाइल कम्स इन द फॉर्म ऑफ 3D इलस्ट्रेटर. यार बहुत सारी चीज़ों को ऐसा 3D में व्यू करना पड़ता है. समथिंग मैकेनिकल स्टूडेंट माइट बी अवेयर ऑफ कि कभी भी आप कार का डायग्राम एक व्यू में नहीं देखते, आप बहुत सारे मल्टीपल व्यू में देखते हैं कि टॉप व्यू कैसा है, साइड व्यू कैसा है, बट उसको 3D डिजाइन करना इज ऑल्सो अ टेक्निकल प्रोफाइल इन माई सेंस. So you can also aim for these kind of profiles. Where you have to design something with 3D illustrations and you have to animate those objects in some way or another. So this is slightly different from a video editor or a video graphic or animator, because you are working towards the technical aspects of it, because you are precisely working on what should be the length of X side or Y side or Z side, and this is why it is a slightly technical intensive profile. And the video editor and video graphicer is a lightly technical intensive profile, because you don't have to be precise in terms of length and breadth and how things work there. But अगर आपकी गाड़ी का 1 इंच भी टायर का ऊपर नीचे हो गया तो आपकी गाड़ी इम्बैलेंस हो जाएगी और वो टॉपल कर सकती है. So this is taken care by 3D illustrators who are working intensively and pointing out every minute detail in the perfect sense with the scale part, right? So with this part, we come to the end of this video where we get to know a lot of our technical profiles that student can aim to. आप सिर्फ एक स्पेसिफिक पोजीशन के लिए नहीं एम कर सकते, आप बहुत सारे मल्टीपल प्रोफाइल्स को एम कर सकते हैं. It's your choice that what you like and what kind of company you are aiming to. A company which is I would say Android or app side heavy, you can aim for Android iOS profiles. A company which is website heavy could have for website profiles. A company which is working on network side can have for network engineer profiles, and a company which is working on the data side, which has had a big chunks of data, and we look for data profiles such as data science or big data engineer. I hope you all like this video. अगर आपको और इन प्रोफाइल्स के बारे में डेप्थ में जानना है, you can ping me on LinkedIn and we can have a one-to-one chat there. अगर आपको रेफरेंस चाहिए and if you want someone I can connect you with to get a more deeper information about these different profiles, you can just ping me on LinkedIn itself. I hope इस वीडियो के साथ आपको काफ़ी एक आइडिया लगा होगा कि फ्रॉम फर्स्ट ईयर ऑनवर्ड यू कैन ऑल्सो एम फॉर डिफरेंट प्रोफाइल्स. देयर इज नो स्पेसिफिक वन कोडिंग प्रोफाइल फॉर यू, एंड आई होप in further videos I can bring more such information for you guys, and stay tuned for such videos. अगर अच्छा लगा दोस्तों तो लाइक करें, शेयर करें, and all those college students who are aspiring, please subscribe to this channel and get more such amazing videos. Bye bye.